Hail and well met, everyone. Welcome to the pre-show hangout. We're just, hanging out, as it were. These are the dungeon scrawlers. As you were, everyone. Continue.
Yes. I need to exercise more. I'm hanging out a little over my belt more than I think.
Eric, Star Chaser 43 asks, was that night mask always in the Mercy room?
I can't say. I feel like that would be a spoiler if I said.
So that night mask
But
was
he already
using.
was.
Was that night mask using the Mercy room and Cecilia just like barged in, or was it like lurking there?
Oh, no.
You can
I did not open the
investigate that
door.
in the game if you want to.
Oh my God,
Okay.
no. Or
And
I don't know. I guess if you really want to look at Night Mask Dookie, it's your business.
More important question: if you encountered a person in the Mercy closet, an enemy, like, would you say give them time to wash their hands before they fought you, or do you want to fight them and potentially?
I feel like it really depends on your alignment.
Especially if there's going to be any grappling.
I think it
involved,
depends on whether you're
Yeah.
a ranged, you have a ranged attack or not.
Good point.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to grapple, yeah, you maybe wait.
See, I
If
think
I was
that's
at-
what someone who is not of a lawful good alignment would say.
If I was that enemy, I would not wash my hands. I want every advantage in combat.
Yeah.
Come out like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You may kill me, but you'll get pink eye.
The thing about fantasy combat is that it exists on a spectrum from Princess Bride to Joe Abercrombie, right?
Right.
And the question is, how brutal and vicious are you? Are you, I will fight him left-handed so that the duel will last longer because I am a gentleman and so is he? Or are
I'm
you,
bored.
I will sneak up on them and put a dagger in their neck before they even know I'm here, even though I'm a fighter, right? So how gritty and realistic do you want it to be? That's the real question.
I like me some
Yeah.
grit.
I can't
You
handle
like you
much,
some grit, Steven? Is that what you're saying?
I think,
normally
whereas
I
I'm
do.
the opposite, demonstrably by. Actually, I should show off my whole shirt because I know that you can't actually see it in the pickup. Everybody asks me like, "What is with this shirt?" It's what does the fox say?
Oh,
Thing and thing,
nice.
and then you get the fox at the bottom.
That's
just
an
so now that
amazing
everybody
shirt.
knows.
Where'd you get that?
Well, it's a shirt woot shirt, but I
Oh,
got it from
nice.
ThreadUp.
Oh, nice.
I think my shirt that I'm wearing was originally a Whoop shirt too. It is this one. Choose your
Oh,
weapon.
that's excellent. I like that.
Very D&D shirt.
Yeah, I totally understand. 2d6. That's the way.
It came out around 3rd edition, I think. And I mean, I don't think weapon types have changed all that much.
No.
So,
I mean,
It's a
Axe is no
sturdy
longer.
shirt. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
I stuck food in my mouth right after I said it. I said, that's a sturdy
Okay.
shirt if that's lasted you from 3rd edition.
yep. Well, it spent a bunch of time in a box like upstairs, and Shelly found it, and she was like, "Do you want to keep these shirts?" And I'm like, "Yes." So,
Of course,
Or
my
you
shirt
could
is
just never have washed it. I mean, that helps shirts stand up.
yeah.
I plead the fifth.
Right? Yeah, picking it up, it's still clean. My shirt, of course, is
the
from
most of its time at the bottom of the hamper, which means that it is clean.
yes. Yeah, my shirt's from Critical Role, of course, because I like to. You might not have heard of them, but I like to support the smaller, struggling streams and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
try and give them a boost with my awesome,
Isn't someone in our
Charisma.
audience literally named Sub Critical Role? I think someone
Probably.
is.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm like, they don't really need your help, but good on you, man.
Sure.
Karuga on our, I might be saying that wrong, on Discord.
Ah,
I found this when I was digging through a box earlier today. I don't know. Let's see
Oh.
if you get-
Yeah.
Archives. Yeah, I got-
Oh. Some good games on there.
Oh, Pool of Radiance.
yeah. So, yeah, I remember fondly, playing these things on like the Commodore 64 and being really sad. I mean, we didn't, obviously the Commodore 64 did not have couch co-op option. It was just, so me and my roommate, we each get to roll half of the characters and then like take turns controlling the game and stuff like that and voting on what we were going to do. So it was
Nice.
It's the best way to play co-op,
Cooperation.
yeah.
especially when like
Unforced.
I'm terrible at fighting, and my friend is terrible at navigating.
Mm.
So she'll fight
Just,
things,
like,
and I'll
pass it
like
back
tell
and
her where to
forth.
go.
Big
I
ups
have
to
my,
Jeff Waddell.
Show and tell thing too. This is the mood wolf. He's a happy wolf,
Whoa.
or is it
Nice.
an angry wolf?
I mean, it's super cute either way.
Woof, woof.
Because it flips.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, cute anger is the best type of anger.
Yeah, I was showing it to somebody, and they were like, "Is it really angry? Because it doesn't look. It's frowny, but it doesn't look that angry to me."
Looks
Yeah.
grumpy.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
kid. It looks like my son when he's like, no, none of this, and it's important to him, and the rest of us are like, so you don't want to eat the sandwich?
Yeah.
Like, it's really not a big deal.
I had
Oh,
one
some
of
of the
these for my
viewers-
desk at work where I could like change it and then put it out as a little like signpost.
Some of the viewers want to know where you got that, Rhiannon.
This is from Ch03. It is the original changeable plushies, because there's a bunch of, as I know, because Facebook decided to advertise them all to me. There's a bunch of imitation now, but Ch03 was the first.
Hmm.
Sorry, have to put that up without my light falling.
Yeah. Can I fix the recaps, or is it too late to fix the recaps?
You can fix the recaps.
Okay,
You can fix
okay,
them even while I'm showing them.
Like, you could do it just because Yang found a typo. I made a typo. I don't know how bad it is. I also have to go in and get my D&D my D&D
it's all
my
good.
tie.
So yeah, speaking of like old weapons and weapon changes between the editions, axes don't do additional critical damage anymore, do they?
I don't think so.
Bummer.
I mean,
Is there-
unless you have a vicious axe, in which case it does.
Oh yeah, but a vicious anything does that, right?
Right.
Do they differentiate axes any other way now from swords besides like the dice? I think it's like what, like 2d6 versus 1d12 or something.
Great axe is 1d12. I think great sword is 2d6. Nobody's used a great sword in the game, I don't think. Not that I can think of anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't you do a crit.
Did Steven just
about a crit?
freeze? Oh.
No, he said kind of half a sentence.
Oh. Yeah, let me fix my mic here. Make sure.
I think a great sword is a pretty cool weapon, particularly if you have a great weapon master.
So what did you say about the axe not having a crit?
Oh no, it has a crit.
In previous editions, certain weapons would deal like extra damage on criticals than others would.
Oh.
Like, I think in third edition, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like axes would do like, they would be 20 would be your crit range, and they would do triple damage. And then swords would be 19 to 20 would be your crit range, and they do double damage.
Yeah, yeah.
And then obviously, if you wanted to do the most multiplier and crit damage, you would have a war pick, which would do like times
the
4
war
damage.
pick. I totally forgot about the war pick.
Yeah.
There's no war pick in 5th edition, is there?
No, I think there is a pick actually.
Do they just call it a pick? A regular
Yeah,
pick?
I think they just call it a pick.
Oh, travesty. Missed opportunity. Thank you so much for the sub, Xenobite. Appreciate it.
Oh no, they do call it a war pick,
Oh, sweet.
but it's not as awesome as it used to be. It's just 1d8 piercing.
There was a really good
Disappointing.
Yeah.
There's a really good Black Sabbath song called War Pigs.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah, you could make it, you could turn it into War Pigs though. If you wanted.
I mean, some of us did grow up in the 80s and 90s. We do know this.
Well, you know, a lot of our viewers probably don't know it.
I guess that's true. So for our audience, there was a band called Black Sabbath. Okay. Okay. We're good.
Okay, Boomer.
I am an elder millennial, I'll have you know. I am one of the oldest millennials out there.
How does that make you feel?
Forgotten, mostly.
Are millennials already forgotten? Is there?
No. Nobody has forgotten the way Gen X has forgotten. Don't worry. See, you didn't even remember about that. That's what I'm saying.
A witch? You said something about a witch? Blair Witch Trial? That wasn't.
Doing in here?
You missed quite a bit, Aaron. Welcome back.
We're now talking about generations. Not the Star Trek movie, but generations, cultural generations.
I loved the, when it was trending on Twitter for the day or whatever, because of that asshat on Fox, what he said. And about Gen X needing to fix their problems. So it was
the coolest generation.
Yeah, I like, it was like one of those things like, oh yeah, I guess I really am Gen X. Like all the things people were saying like about Gen X, like about being latchkey kids and sort of just kind of left to figure everything out on your own and all that kind of fun stuff. And
you're talking about Carl's Tucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
And I definitely remember like all of that. I mean, I grew up during the Satanic Panic in the 80s. I was told I was heavily indoctrinated in the church. You'd never guess by my Rogar storyline, but I was heavily indoctrinated in the church. And I mean, I remember them coming in, having people come in to tell us all about how D&D was a gateway to the Satans, to the demonic possession. And rock and roll too, of course. And I always just imagined like the devil just sitting down in hell being like, bing, bing, bing. No. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, write that down. Like, okay, man.
Yeah, I in 95 or 96, I think. So past the big Satanic Panic kind of thing. But I went to sleepaway camp for a couple weeks. And the directions were like, no role-playing games, no role-playing games.
Wow.
And I hadn't encountered them at that point. And so I was just like, okay, I won't bring a thing that I don't have and I don't know what it is. But thinking back, I'm like, what were they worried that we were going to do with these role-playing games?
Like all the things you can do at summer camp, like that's the thing that's going to get you in trouble, right?
I wonder, like, I'm kind of curious, and part of me is like, oh, I bet, like, in a previous year, there was some sort of drama. Like, there were role-playing games played after lights out, and then somebody's elf got killed, and there were screaming and tears, and they're just like, no.
Yeah.
Just because I've seen enough school stuff where they're like, no, you cannot bring this, and you're like, what's the story there? There has to be a story there.
Yeah. Or, well, it was a camp for like accelerated kids science, blah, blah, blah. So we were taking classes during the day. So I wondered if like one year somebody had a game and decided to just like game instead of going to classes. Heaven forbid at summer camp. I don't know. I was a very bookish little kid. So I was like, classes, yay, I learned things.
I was a proud member of the group that got Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering both banned from our Boy Scout campouts.
Oh, wow.
Did you summon Satan? Is that what happened?
No, we just played D&D all day and long into the night.
And Satan was there, but We need the extra player.
Played the
He went to
cleric.
bed early, so that wasn't really the problem.
You got to get up in the morning and write those rock songs.
Satan showed up and was like, "Hey, can I play?" And we're like, "Here's the cleric." So
Like I bet by those counselors telling you that you couldn't play D&D, like so many kids found out what D&D was and gave it a try. That's absolutely what I would do.
Oh yeah, I can't do this. Why? What is it you don't want me to find?
like 10 years later, when I went back to work as a camp counselor at that very camp, I got a group of other camp counselors to start playing D&D. It was hilarious.
Nice.
I got fired from being camp counselor. Not really.
What?
I did it
Oh.
one year and I was like not that great. And the next year, like I showed up to like apply again, and they're like, "Are you sure?"
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa.
And I didn't do very well with my kids because I was still like kind of like young enough that I was like assuming that all kids would be like I had been, and I had been like super focused on classes and stuff. So my kids wanted to goof off, so I didn't quite know how to like deal with that. And then the reason they told me like that they weren't sure I should come back the next year was that I wasn't very friendly with the other counselors. I would just like go and read my book alone. They weren't friendly people.
Mm.
Oh, okay. So the counselors just want to like dick off with each other, and they wanted more
I
people to
guess,
do it.
right?
Right. Yeah. Cool.
But like it was like
That
I woke
sucks.
up because I got back and I was like, wait, no, I didn't really want to do this. I was just sort of like, what else do I do with my summers? Because I'd been to the camp so many times as a camper. I was like, oh, well, obviously I'm going to be a counselor now. So I was like, freedom.
Yeah.
Happy
Man.
ending.
I did love summer camp. Summer camp was super fun. I played actually I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, played a lot of Pogs. I learned traded a lot of cards, comic book cards, baseball cards, like whatever.
Mhm.
Learned
What's
a
a
lot of
Pog?
rhythm games.
What's a pog?
They were those little like they were milk bottle
Okay,
caps
boomer.
was the kind of the idea. But they were like
In olden
little
times.
decorated cardboard circles, and
Mhm.
there was a game where you like stacked them up and then you flung a heavier plastic circle at it and tried to flip them over. But mostly you just collected them because they were neat.
Yeah.
It was
least
a
that's what I did.
very,
Yeah.
very 90s thing. Very
I didn't
90s.
have any, but I knew they
Very.
were little 90s kid.
Yeah, this is also before like, everyone had a phone or like a Game Boy or something. People needed to collect and play any
In
darn
olden
thing they possibly
times.
could.
In olden times when you had to physically collect things
Oh,
to be
yeah.
entertained by them. Oh,
I still have my card collection though, like my comic book
Yeah.
cards. Yeah, I collected comic book cards, like Marvel cards, Harry Potter cards. Oh man, there's
did you
another
ever get
set.
those like sticker books? Like you go to the library and there'd be like a little random, or not the library, the grocery store. Guys, I think that this COVID shot is making my brain not work at topness.
Oh yes, Erin.
So when I
Erin
don't
got
use the
her
right word.
first COVID injection yesterday. Was it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
congrats.
I mean, she didn't get injected with COVID. Let's be clear.
At least
Got
I
injected
hope
with the
not.
vaccine against COVID.
But in the last couple hours, I've noticed like I can't find the word for things sometimes, or I say the wrong one. So everybody help me if I get stuck. Those sticker books and the grocery store, they'd have like little packets of like randomized rectangular stickers, and you're like try to get them all and fill up the sticker book. I don't think I ever filled a sticker book. But
I just
love
think of the
those
Monopoly game from McDonald's when you say
Oh
that.
my god.
things.
So it turns out that the Monopoly game from the 90s, everybody remembers this Monopoly game, right? Was a huge scam. Like nobody ever won the Monopoly game. They would win some
Well-
small prizes, but nobody won $1 million or more like the game advertised that you would. And they did that intentionally. It
There's
wasn't
like a documentary
unlikely.
on it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought I thought
yeah.
it was that one of the employees snuck out the winning pieces to like their friends and relatives.
Oh, yeah.
So they all
Mm.
always won, within this little circle.
Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating.
never did
What's
that,
that documentary called? McMillions? Is that what it is?
That
I think
sounds
that's what it's
right.
called.
Did
Yeah.
anybody else do the? Because my first one of those type of things, we didn't go to McDonald's, but Snickers did a thing where on the fun size candy
Oh.
bars in the 90s,
Oh yeah.
you opened them up and inside was a letter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you spelled a word, it might have been Snickers, then you
The
sent all
great
those.
Snickers Scrabble crossover. Yeah.
Yeah. and my parents were like, well, probably they don't like sell any of all of the letters in the same geographic area, but I was collecting those. And I think I was one short.
Oh, so you didn't get a chance to win a candy
No.
factory or something?
No, I didn't get whatever prize. I seem to recall that I found one like blowing on the ground near a trash can like after the deadline that was like the one letter I needed, but that might be my like
Oh.
brain making
Oh,
a
wow.
story out of
That's
a
a
fuzzy
epic
memories.
story.
Wow.
Tragedy.
These days you can, they do that with Safeway. I think it's Monopoly. I don't know what it is, but there's,
Yeah.
I saw
and you
that.
can go on Facebook groups of people trading, oh, I need one of these. I need one of those. And then by the end, everyone's looking for the same one. But
I mean, it's
so-
always like Park Place or something, right?
I don't know. It was, I can't remember exactly what it looks like, or if it's even Monopoly, but you just had to get all these pieces in a row. And anyway, people on Facebook were trading, it's like, I got 3 of these. You need one?
Hmm.
Can you give me one of those? But
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of my early jobs, when I was trying to like use my writing skill to get myself a job, was worked for a CPA firm writing basically appeal letters to the IRS to get back fines and interest after they paid off their thing. So they would write a letter in, and the person would write a letter, and I'd have to translate that into this official letter to the IRS, making the case of why they should get their money back. And of course, I had to like really, spin things, but and make stuff up and have fun with it. But yeah, there was a number. The reason I brought that up is there's a number of times where I got letters along the lines of, well, I know we owe the IRS $5,000, and we got this $1,000, so I bought $1,000 in scratch tickets, figuring I'd win enough to pay off the IRS. But yeah,
Terrible plan.
yeah. Had a lot of fun with that job, though. Screwed around a lot. I mean, my cube was totally decked out. I had out of cardboard. I became a master of making things out of cardboard. I had like a gate that would raise to let you in or out of my cubicle.
Oh wow!
Stuff like that. And
You were
yeah,
like playing Minecraft in real life back before.
yeah, I
Minecraft was
was.
cool.
It was pretty. I tried. I when someone finally moved out, I annexed the next cubicle and like removed the wall, and then it was
Nice.
pretty impressive. And also like did things that it got after a year or two of doing this, started to try and like make it a little more fun. So I'd like be like, okay, well, give me like, I don't know, give me a band. And they'd be like, okay, Led Zeppelin. I'd be like, okay, driving truck is hard, the long hours, you see the Black Dog, and you're just trying to make your money. It's like trying to climb a stairway to heaven, and I'm just, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So, make a game of it, but yeah, not at their expense. I was really good at getting people their money back, but
That's good.
being persuasive.
Yeah. I was going to say one more thing about Magic the Gathering. I played Magic until Tempest came out. So if anyone is a long time Magic fan, we're talking like 1999 or 2000, something like that. And like the mechanics started getting too weird for me. And somebody stole a bunch of my Magic cards. And I was just like, well, that's it. We're done. But over the years, people have said, hey, I heard you played Magic. Do you still have your cards? I'm like, yes. I mean, they're in a shoebox right there on my shelf. Let's play. I'm like, okay. So they'll play like some newfangled thing with new mechanics that I don't nearly understand, and I'll just pull out my vampire deck. And they're like,
Oh,
is this legal? I'm like, we're not playing tournament legal decks, are we? And they'll go, no. And then I'll be dropping Sengir vampires on like turn 1 and turn 2 because of dark rituals. And they're like, oh no.
Dark ritual. Yeah, I mean,
two dark rituals, Sengir vampire round 1, round 2, 1 dark ritual, 2 swamps, lots of unholy strengths. You're starting to attack with like, your 8/6 vampire or whatever. It is pretty great.
I know exactly what kind of player you are, my friend. And Emily has these Magic the Gathering parties. Well, back when gatherings were safe. And you'll definitely have to come to the next one and check it out.
I also had a
I'm gonna
deck
send my
that
son with you since you've given him magic cards, and I don't know what to do with them.
Yes,
is
I would
gonna come
love
with you
to
to the
spend
party.
time with your son and teach him all the things that you don't want me to teach him.
Uh-oh.
I also have a deck that is
Twerking turkey is
entirely
gonna come back, isn't it?
It is. Oh, God, the turkey. With that shameful memory, we actually have to go to the recap,
That's
and
fair.
then we'll be back afterwards. All right. See
Just
you in
cut to
4.
a twerk